Pensions help you save more towards your retirement, but how do you know if your savings are on track? I'm Charlene Young, Senior Pensions and Savings Expert here at AJ Bell, and in this short video, we'll look at how much you might need in your pensions to fund the retirement you want. First up, understanding retirement costs. Let's start by working out how much your retirement might cost you. This will largely depend on how much you will want to spend. It is personal to you, which can sometimes make it tricky to pin down an exact number. Some people like to target a fraction of what they spend now after tax, but there are some handy resources out there that can help you work out your number. Research by Pensions UK looks at the amounts needed to fund 3 different standards of living in retirement. They produce figures for people living alone, as well as those living in couples. The minimum or basic standard of living covers the essentials, and then different amounts are assumed to be spent on goods and services like food, holidays, household maintenance, and clothing to get to a moderate and also a comfortable standard of living. It's important to note that all of these living standards assume no rental or mortgage costs, but they do attempt to give a realistic estimate by assuming that everybody, including those targeting a minimum standard of living, will want to enjoy a social life and the odd takeaway, as well as paying essential bills. What will my state pension cover? Most people in the UK will have some income from the state pension. To get the full new state pension, you'll need to have built up 35 full qualifying years of national insurance contributions. This full state pension covers most, but not all, of the basic standard of living for a single person. If you're aiming for that moderate lifestyle, the state pension would cover nearly 40%. For a 2-person household, your combined state pensions could cover a basic standard of living, but only around 50% of that moderate lifestyle. It's likely that you might want to wind down or even fully retire before you reach your state pension age. You'll need to make sure your personal savings can cover you entirely until the state pension kicks in, and leave enough to make up for any shortfalls once it does. You can go to the gov.uk website to get a state pension forecast and see if you're on track for that full amount. So how much do I need in my own pension? Here's where your own savings come in, whether that's a workplace scheme, a personal pension, or investments in other types of accounts too. Figures from consumer group Which show that people aiming for that moderate retirement lifestyle will need between £300,000 and £400,000 in their own pot by the time they reach state pension age. For the comfortable standard of living, the pot size jumps to between £500,000 and £600,000. If you're in a couple and able to pool resources, this should mean a much lower target pension pot size, taking both into account. Of course, these are just estimates. Things like investment returns, inflation, and how long you live will all make a difference to the pot size that you need. How can I boost my pension savings? Being told you need to build a large pension pot to enjoy a decent standard of living in retirement might feel intimidating. While automatic enrolment has been really successful in getting more employees saving into pensions, those on the minimum contribution levels are still at risk of falling well short of their own retirement expectations. Auto-enrolment also doesn't cover self-employed people who won't have that employer contribution. The key thing is to focus on saving what you can afford, whilst also taking advantage of incentives like employer contributions, tax relief, and tax-free investment growth on the investments in your pension pot. If you're employed, check with your employer whether they offer to match your contributions. For example, if you pay in 6%, they might also pay in 6%, and so on. This valuable perk can give an extra boost to your pension savings. The earlier you can start, the more time your savings will have to grow. Someone saving £400 a month from age 30 could end up with over £400,000 in their pot by age 67. Wait until you're age 50 to start, and you'd need around £1,350 a month to get there. This assumes a 4% annual growth rate after charges. You should also find out where your current pensions are. If you have had several different jobs, chances are that you've got several different pots spread across different providers. Tracking them down and combining them gives the chance to reduce charges and also the benefit of having all your savings under one roof, making it easier to see if you're on track. Thank you for watching this video. If you're interested in learning more about pensions, we've got other videos and guides online to help. For example, we look at how to claim pension tax relief on the money you pay into pensions and how you can access your pot when you're thinking of retiring. See you soon.